And we'll carry on with our next keynote topic. This is identifying opportunity in a reshaped market. And today's keynote speaker is Mr. Harjit Khanduja, SVP HR, Reliance Jio. We're just taking a few seconds to do the setup, and I'm going to request Mr. Harjit Khanduja to kindly come on stage and to give his deliberations. Mr. Harjit Khanduja, please put your hands together for the speaker who's going to speak on identifying opportunity in a reshaped market. Sir.
All my friends who are at the back, may I request them to come in the first 7 rows. The guys who are sitting at the back, please. That way we will have a better connect. Otherwise I will feel like I am talking to chairs. I know the advantages of being a backbencher, but I don't want you to avail those advantages in my session at least. Okay, before we start, please give me a huge round of applause. Arey boss, you did not have breakfast? Look, I do this beforehand because afterwards there is no guarantee. And today I am going to talk about talent attraction and retention, which I believe is the theme of the event. And what you are seeing on, if you have seen this movie, Darlings, this is the situation of the current marketplace. I will explain you how. The unique thing about this movie was that the talent, who was the wife, said, I am not going to kill you, but I am going to punish you the way you are punishing me. And that is what is happening right now. And I will take you through deliberation on what is the current marketplace, and then I will give you a solution also that how to deal with this marketplace as a business professional or as a HR professional. I'm feeling a bit sinking because, look, this presentation has a lot of movie references. And if you are not a movie goer, then you will have a difficulty in connecting with the presentation and you might not understand few things. So that is a caution. Are you able to see this picture? You are able to see the lady in the blue and the bottle with a blue cap. Look, interestingly, this is a black and white picture. What someone has done is, someone has drawn some colored lines, and what your mind is doing is, your mind is filling colors in it. So my ground rule 1 is, I am going to talk about small things, I am going to give you parallels, no heavy gyan. If you are here to, if you are thinking that I am going to tell you something in the consultant language, I am not going to do that. This is a very light session, morning session. So, and I am going to talk about small things. If at the end of the session, if you are able to take at least one thing with you, then half an hour which we are spending together is worth it. Basically, life is all about how we see things. And before we start, let me again tell you, this presentation has movie references, although no parental guidance is required. and images are used for educational purposes, copyright is with the owner. So I'm done with this. Thank you. Let's talk about the current vicious cycle, that how this vicious cycle actually started. Pandemic happened. All of us have gone through the pandemic. We know we were cleaning vegetables during the pandemic. So all kind of logical things which intelligent people do, we have done that. What happened during the pandemic, that we started working more, because there was a fear in mind that something will happen, and we were sitting at home, we were thinking that we are working from home, like Rao Saab was saying, na, it was not great feeling. When I went back to my work, I realized that was not a great feeling. I had too much pressure on my mind. Another thing was, we are social animals. So there was something called loneliness. And there was a Harvard study which talked about the people who do well and the people who don't do well. The difference between them is, of course, education, experience, and one important factor was loneliness. And because of loneliness, what happened was, we got into this issue of mental health. And when we had this mental imbalance, which we did not realize or recognize that, okay, mental is also an issue, then our HR guys started figuring out why our people are collapsing and why suddenly my productivity is higher, but at the same time, I am finding collapses. And when pandemic opened up, and you will try to relate that when we talk about mental health and great resignation and all these things are related and one caused another. Another thing which people started feeling was, 2 years happened, what about my growth? You did not increase my salary. My promotion, it was due in 3 years, you did not do that. So I want to punish you for that. You took care of me, yeah, that was your job. But you did not promote me. And there was a reason also, there was a genuine reason for that, because expenses were growing. And then you wanted me to come back to office because you wanted to remove that loneliness and lot of other things. And then there was this guy. You know Hari Sadhu? You know Hari Sadhu? H for Hitler, A for arrogant, R for rascal, right? I relate to it because my name is Harjit. And my team has created an acronym even further, J for Joker. Sorry, why am I embarrassing myself? I should not be doing that. You get the point. So there are bosses which create an environment, you have to do this. The guy says, okay, I will do it. And then it was like there are too many opportunities. Suddenly everyone started betting on IT is the place. And a lot of startups came up and they said, we are going to change the landscape. Now you have 100 people in the talent and suddenly the market was, the demand was of 400 people. So everyone had 4 offers in hand. And we had too many hopes that economy is going to boom and everything. Now employees feeling sad, economy is booming. What were you expecting? Great resignation. My belief is that whenever any of this phenomena happens, whatever is happening in the social life, same gets converted into corporate life. The divorce rates during pandemic, I was thinking that when people are living together, there will be love. It was quite opposite of that. The divorce rate was up by 60%. And same way, your resignation rate was also up by 60% or even more. And Because resigning is an easy process, divorce is a difficult process. So effect was into 10. And people took the easy option. They said, we will change the job because you have not done my promotion and there is an opportunity who is giving me 2x, I will go there. So people went. And after that what happened, that remarriage happened. People went to the new company and they found this is just the same, like the old marriage. There at least I knew the person, here I don't even know the person. So there was anxiety, and you would have seen the people who changed the job during the pandemic, there was huge turnover in the first 90 days. That was the exact point which Rao Saab was also making, that people are not able to, because people are not able to connect. And then there were new habits. So you can see how the person is holding a laptop. In fact, I wanted to put a different image where a pilot is saying, I was imagining Rao Saab when I was putting this image. And then what happened was, they figured out that ROI is very low. The entire industry was expecting RRR is going to be a huge opportunity and lot of money we will make in the IT business. It did not happen. Most of the people started closing down their shops because we are social animals. That is why we are sitting there in a room now. And many of us have traveled from across India. The reason is we want to connect socially. So the assumption which was true in the pandemic, as the pandemic went out, people are traveling, people want to connect, people want to be with people rather than be with technology. So we don't want dating with computer, we want dating with people. Look, these are parallels. Don't quote me that he was talking about dating. I am not talking about dating. And final is, that is the outcome, great layoffs. So opportunities came down. Now in this situation, if you have to retain your talent, how you are going to retain your talent? I have a formula which I called STEP. And if you remember this formula, even 3 months back, this was something which was the best thing. I used it myself. I found it effective. I have seen other people also using it without giving this name. So first S is safety. If you are there with a gun and saying, Tera kya hoga Kalia, your psychological safety is gone. The most important thing you have to ensure for an employee is that there is psychological safety. हाँ, ठीक से खींचना. Now, how do you, why are you getting embarrassed? Take a photo, na? उसने खींचा ही नहीं, मैंने पोज दिया तो. Thank you. So how do you ensure psychological safety? So it is not always you have to behave like Gabbar, or if you don't behave like Gabbar, will everything be okay? Look, psychological safety means that you are giving somebody meaningful work. And it is not only about giving meaningful work, it is about explaining. So I have a colleague of mine, she yesterday gave me a good gyan on. She told me that if you explain people how important their work is, then people relate to it and then your productivity is 10x. Right, ma'am? So if you put somebody on a job called Naam Shabana, you have seen this movie? How many of you have seen this movie? Okay. Good. Now here salary was not much, but she was retained. So same way, if you are explaining the job and you are telling the person how important that job is, that makes the difference. Second factor in STEP is trust. Now, trust is of three types, and this is not that what I am saying. This is, you can say, this is a theory which has been given by experts from Stanford, who talk about trust is of three types. So, first trust is strategic trust, that in which direction company is taking you. You would have seen on Glassdoor, they talk about, I always used to amuse, do you approve of your CEO? Means, CEO, you have to approve CEO. And after reading this, I realized, yes, what people feel is if whether the CEO is taking us in the right direction. If people feel that my organization or my leadership is taking me in the right direction, that is strategic trust, which you have to place. So, communicating vision, mission, values, and what are our future plans to employees is something which is very important, which we many a times undervalue. Another part of trust is, which we called organization trust. And you must be thinking, organization trust and runway 34, how does it connect? Now, this pilot, what he did was, he landed on a runway 34, which he should not have done. And what airport authority did was, although he saved lives, they had put him into question that why did you do that? That is organizational trust, that nobody is above law. If you are doing anything beyond something which is defined, then you can be questioned. And it is not about questioning, it is about fairness. Whether I will be treated fairly, the way CEO will be treated, same way I will be treated. Getting that confidence is something which is very, very important for employees, that sense of fairness. And it is not only sense of fairness, it is the perception of sense of fairness. You are fair, but employees don't perceive it. So you have to advertise it. And we will come to that. And third is personal trust. Personal trust is kachara khelega. Whether your manager will stand for you or not. And many of you might be thinking, kachara khelega, what is the relevance? So the guy standing behind is kachara. We should not have names like that, but they intentionally put that name, that this person is the outcast, and there is somebody who is saying that this guy has an important skill and we should treat this guy as equal because this guy will make us win. So here we are because of our skills, we are not here because of our castes. How your peers treat you, how your managers treat you, that is personal trust. And like till now I had heard people leave organizations because of their managers. After going through this entire trust methodology, you will be able to appreciate it is not only managers. It is managers, it is peers, it is your policies, and it is your direction. It is a cumulative effect of everything. Okay, I just want to check what was the color of the cow. What was the color of the cow? My God, who said black? Whosoever said black, maybe you are focusing on wrong things. So third, like E in the step is expression. So you love your employees, you have very good policies, but if you don't express it, you need to express it like Kabir Singh, tu meri bandi hai. Until unless you give that feeling that you are my employee, you are my person. Moment you say that you are my person, why are you making fun of me? I thought what she is doing is that I said, "Tu meri bande, tu mera banda," and she started talking. People judge, and that too when HR people judge. This is so wrong. So you have to be upfront. And second is public display of love. This now public display of love, why it is important, and you might be thinking, oh no, this is not the right thing. Go on social media, you will find, we welcome our new batch. It's welcome batch, na? Why are you telling everyone? Because these guys, madam was talking about, she is standing here, so she was talking about young people go to WhatsApp every day. And I was thinking, oh, am I young? So public display of love in today's age is very important, and that is expression. Now coming to the last part, which is presentation. This guy, if you see him in person, of course he has aura, but the way he is presented, awesome. So let me tell this to you in a context. I saw benefits of an organization on a beautiful page where it talked about that you will get insurance through ESIC of so much amount. In case so that was basically depiction of ESIC policy. But we don't explain ESIC in the manner that the person can understand that, okay, these are the benefits which are available to me. And things which we do but we don't recognize are important. What they did was they glorified that whole piece, and they had put it into a piece of paper and gave it to their employees. Their retention was, and they were into ITE as a space, their retention was 10% better than their competitors. So this is the methodology, how to retain. STEP, step for you to remember, and that is what I wanted to talk about. These are tough times, and like nowadays there are going to be tough times, but if you are good inside, things will fall in place. So you need to dam laga ke haisha, and that's it. Thank you, thanks a lot. Before I leave the stage, I want you to do something for me. I have a book called How Leaders Decide. You are going to open your Amazon app. You are going to find book How Leaders Decide. It looks like this, the blue one. And you are going to add it in your wish list. And whosoever adds it in their wish list, then I will call Rao Sahib and I will give one of you the signed copy of this book. Fine? Can you do that for me? So I will give you 2 minutes. In the meantime, I will request Rao Sahib to come on the stage. So Rao Sahib, you have a difficult job of finding one of the persons who actually wishlists the book and it's give this.
Difficult. I can't do it, sir. Because everybody is.
Look, that is what HR's job is. Look, that is what we do.
No, that Sahil can, I think he's the right person who will decide. This is tough for me. I can't decide. अच्छा साहिल को दे दे बोलते हैं.
You will have to figure out that. So, whosoever has done that, you can raise your hands, and then Rao Sahib is going to pick one of you. So, Rao Sahib, it is your choice who you want to pick. And
sir, how many copies you have right now?
look, that is the problem. That is the problem with HR. Business says, I want to give increment. They said, how much more you can give? I have one copy right now, which I will.
You can send it later. Courier se bhej do. I will distribute it.
Sir.
It's very difficult for me to decide.
You can apply a criteria that whosoever is wearing blue, whosoever is wearing black and things like that.
No, last time ऐसा no criteria. No, last time he put some criteria, so let him do it. Because it's your book, sir. You have to sell it.
Look, that's great. Look, this entire piece is also a demonstration of when you are dealing with your folks, then you need to be fair. At the same time, you have to make tough choices. That is what HR is all about. And I was talking to Suman before this session. What Suman was telling me, Suman who came here just now for felicitation, that's Suman. The person who is organizing this, that's Suman. So he was telling me, I was talking to him about technology and digital. He said, that is fine, but don't you think human resources has human? So we should think about humans. So a huge round of applause for Suman. So guys, whosoever is wearing blue today, those guys can stand. And you have also, okay, and if you are having photograph of your spouse in your wallet, so others can sit down, the photographs with the spouse, okay. Now I have reduced choices for you. Among these people, you can pick one.
I think it's looking good.
Okay, please. Look, finally, it is the HR guy deciding who is looking good. That guy gets the increment.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I will sign it for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have fun.
Thank you very much, sir. That was such a wonderful... So please stay on stage, please, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And I'd like to request Mr. Suman Banerjee, CHRO of ABP, to kindly come forward and present a memento to Mr. Harjit Khanduja. Thank you very much for this fun and exciting session that we had, full of laughter. Yes, sir. So if you could just pose for the photograph, yes. Thank you very much, sir.